Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and I took a trip to Walmart today. Well, I wasn't planning on it. Gary had to go to some hardware stores, and he was going to be down the block. I said, drop me off. And he goes, well, when I'm ready, I want to go home. And I said, that's good, I will. So if you're only interested in hummingbirds, go to the 9-minute mark. That's where I do the hummingbird feeders. But here I'm going to look at some of the stuff in the garden department. So the watering cans, interesting. The lemon is more money than the strawberry and the watermelon. Don't know why, but that's the way it is. But they are cute. Look at the watering cans for this year. Last year they had elephants and turtles, and this year they're having that. Oh well, things change. Now, this is what I really came for today. An umbrella. I have one already, and I've decided to set up a second one for the hummingbirds and myself. And I found out that Walmart's got a great beach umbrella that is so cheap. It is just under $15, and it's big. Now, yes, with my house, we're going to have to supervise it in case it looks like it's going to fly off. But when I'm out there working and on plants or hummingbirds, I can anchor it and I can use it then and keep an eye out on it. Great price. I cannot complain on that. The one I got, I love it, so I decided to get a second one. If you've got dirt, you can anchor it in. Those are the anchors down below. But right now we're kind of putting it onto the deck, and Gary put some pipes there, and he's going to set up another one for me. So we're going to just walk around a little bit. We're not going to look at the whole garden department. There's the watering cans, and that's where I showed you the strawberry, and there's a green one that's watermelon, and then there's the lemon. I just wanted to kind of check out their prices and see what they have. Now, this Walmart is not as big, in my opinion, in some of the garden departments as far as other ones. I mean, part of it's really big. They have a lot of stuff like tools. Oh, and these shovels, oh my goodness, 97 cents. I've had them for years. I've never had one break. Definitely pick them up to scoop, the shovel, that little hand rake. It is wonderful. I have a bunch of them. But they have more in their garden department than they do other supplies. So in other words, one Walmart might be better in certain supplies than another one. So you definitely want to check out different Walmarts. That's an interesting basket. You can pick your vegetables and wash them, and really cool. So we're just going to kind of mosey around a little bit and see what they got in for spring. Look at all the statues, the bunnies, the cat. Oh, look at the cat. Oh my goodness, with the butterfly on his nose. Beautiful little statues. Okay, $15, but you know, if this is what you like, oh, they're heavy. Really cute. I'm not buying this today. Like I said, my thing was the umbrella, and we're going to go take a look at the hummingbird feeders. This is nice, and they've got flags, but they're already sold out of a lot of them already. Or maybe they're just starting to get this in. A lot of times after inventory, the 31st of January, they start to stock the store. Oh my goodness, look at hummingbirds. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not in the wind chimes. Those things blow all night and cling and clang, and I want to hear nature. I want to hear the frogs, the crickets, the birds. Look at that. So wind chimes are not my thing. If I get wind chimes, they're not going to chime. I'm going to block them. I just don't need that clinging and clanging 24 hours a day. No joke. Let's see. Oh, look at the lights on the very bottom there to the left. Look at that. I had a set like that years ago, maybe like 25 years ago. Really nice. Mine changed colors. I don't think I even paid that much, to be honest, but really kind of cute. These are like $20. And oh, there it goes. Okay, because it flips, see? Now when it gets dark outside, it goes different colors. It rotates through. I will tell you, I went to Dollar Tree, and they've got some rotating colored lights too for like $1.50. All right, this is for growing your seeds. I have purchased a bag before. It was an open bag. It was half price, but I'll tell you something. You don't need it. Get yourself a good bag of potting mix. I mean, it could be any Miracle-Gro, anything you want, and then give it a good sift. And just lightly. You could even do it with your hands and get all the big pieces out, but you don't really need to do this. But if you want to, that's fine. $45 for grow lights. Okay. You can always use a window if you've got sun, but I know a lot of you are under snow, so you're not going to have sun. But we're just going to kind of look through and see what they're getting in. I'm just about ready to run out inside and go look at the hummingbird stuff. Organic seed starting mix. And that's what they've got here. Seed pods. You know, I use Tool. $8 almost, $7.64. I use Tool when I do a lot of planting. You'll have to go see those videos, and I'll do more this year. I've already started planting some seeds. I put the Tool in the cup. You know how I do it, like a 2-cup system. But with Tool, all I have to do is lift it up, and I never damage the plants. And I can plant 100 seeds in one pot. But that's another video. So let's go look at the flower pots. Now keep in mind, if you go to thrift stores, swap meeting, whatever, and you see plant pots, you know, flower pots cheap, you really should grab them because they are expensive. They're very pricey. Look at the prices on them. So keep that in mind. That's why I wanted to kind of walk through here just to see what the style is, what they're showing. They got everything sorted by colors. Look at the baskets on the bottom. Okay, they have a plastic liner, but $22, $21.88. You know, you can go to a thrift store or a garage sale, and a lot of times they give them away. I've had a lady gave me a bunch of baskets, but you know, this is good to see. All right, we're not going to walk through the whole store with the plants, not today, because I'm really anxious to get to the hummingbird feeders before Gary shows up, because he's got a lot of projects he's working on. He's been working in his garden, so this was a trip he was going to do to make it quick without me. Oh, look at these flower pots. Now, you know I like the clay flower pots because I make some bird baths out of them. That's pretty, though. That's a really nice glazed one. Look at that. These really have nice color. That's a nice umbrella on top. A little heavier than the other one. The one I like is only 3 pounds. And those are about 10 pounds, those big umbrellas. I like something light that can open and close and move around easy. You know, that's an attractive pot. You turn that one upside down, and it's already got a hole in it. It's less than $5, and you would have hummingbirds bathing all over the top. If I didn't have clay pots already, I would pick that one up. But it's good to know in case I decide I want another one. All right, let's keep walking around. And these are plant stands, so you don't put your pot on a wood surface like a deck because it will rot your deck out, so you want to have airflow underneath. And then this is just other stuff that you use for plants. Just taking a peek here for a minute, see what they've got. But remember, don't sit a pot directly on a wooden deck because it will eat it. That's when nature will take it back, your wooden deck. All right, we're not going to bore you with all the barbecue stuff and all this. I'm just kind of seeing what's here. And I think we're going to march inside and go look at the hummingbird feeders because I want to make sure I can look at that. Look at the fans. It's really blowing in here nice. It's keeping it cool. In the winter, we're going to be 90 degrees. Oh my goodness, just for a day. And then it's going back to 75. Chairs. Remember, if you get yourself a tote, you can have a raised bed for like $22. And Walmart's got their totes in there for $7. Just a thought. All right, let's look at the seeds they've got this year. And these are quite interesting. I don't need any seeds, I don't think right now, but I just want to kind of swing it around and see. I think these are about $1.98, $1.96. So they're about $2 a package. And they've got all kinds, they've got vegetables, look at all that. Pretty much everything you'd need to grow would be probably here. And I've used their seeds before. They're good. Then they've got flowers. All kinds of flowers. You probably have a bigger selection here than you will at Dollar Tree. That is really pretty. I do really good with marigolds. I don't know how well that would grow, but I grow marigolds all over the place on the deck. They just love the deck. Now here are the hummingbird feeders. Let's walk over there and take a look before Gary gets here. Now this Walmart doesn't have a real big display when it comes to hummingbird feeders. I mean, it's pretty good. Don't kid yourself. But let's look at them. Okay, this is $13. It's glass and plastic and metal. Remember, metal gets hot and so does glass if you're in a hot area. That's nice. You can mount it on a pole. Okay, it's a tray one if you don't have too many hummingbirds. $12.97. Okay, whatever was there they don't have. Maybe they didn't get it in yet. And this is kind of a ball hummingbird feeder. I don't know. Not sure what that is. Okay, and then they've got these feeders. So that's nice. Again, glass. So if you're in a very hot area, glass holds heat. Keep that in mind. Plastic does not. So it will get hotter in glass. And you can see the prices here. And oh, I like this one. Look at the dome. You're covered, not from the sun though, but from the rain. $12.88. You could paint it if you wanted to block out the sun, but right now this blocks out the rain. It's, you know, well made. That is interesting. If I was looking for something simple, like a simple tray type feeder, I would consider this. That is really nice. Isn't that pretty? It's attractive. You could paint it, you could attach something to it. Plastic flowers would create shade. Oh boy, this one, I've taken these apart the best I can, and I will tell you, they're a nightmare to clean because of all the crevices around there. The flowers separate, the yellow center separate. If you can't get to it inside there, a mascara brush won't get in there, it will mold. So keep that in mind. You'd have to soak it in a bleach solution. See all the crevices? The more crevices you have, the more place you have for bacteria or mold to grow. So it's got a glass top, plastic bottom. And again, if you're in a very hot area, the glass holds heat. You would have to hang them in the shade, and not much of an amp moat there. It's pretty, but not for me. Now I've got one of those to the left here, the mason jar, and it's not a bad price. I'll tell you a few tricks on it. When you go ahead and hang it outside, it has so the hummingbirds don't have any place to sit, but I have fixed that problem. We can go over that in another video. They will hover around it, they will feed from it, but it's really small for me, but it could work good for you. They really enjoy it, and it's attractive. I'll tell you a few little tips and tricks on this one though, if you do get it. When you're filling it, don't fill it to the top or it will just drip all over. See how the flowers are? It will drip down, and that you don't want. So get underneath where the line is. I even put a little too much in mine today too. See that? And make sure when you hang it that the hook is above that curlicue there. Because if it gets stuck underneath, and sometimes it doesn't slide in good, it will be lopsided. And then it will, most of it, a lot of it will drip out. So before you walk away, just double check, make sure it's hanging nice and straight and even, and then you'll be good to go on that. And this one, yes, it did get dented, but it doesn't hurt anything. Just make sure it's nice and straight. And that's all there is to it. So it is a cute one. I'd say it's worth getting, but I would still put one of the other ones out like this one. The hummingbirds know this one. This is bee-proof. Sometimes I still make the holes bigger for the Orioles. It's got a nice ant moat on it, and it's $6. It's plastic, so it's not going to get really hot in the summer. And like I said, the best thing to do is give it a little cover, try to put it under a tree, but sometimes you can't. This one has a long tube. Some hummingbirds have problems feeding out of it. Not all, but some. Again, it's glass, so it will get warm. And make sure when you're buying them, you got all the parts, because as you can see, it's missing a lot of flowers on that. There's my favorite one, $4. And look at that, 18 cents. It doesn't have an amp moat, but you can make an amp moat. I've got a lot of videos on how to make amp moats. Won't cost you a thing. But it's the easiest to clean. The hummingbirds love it, and they know it. This does not belong here. It's a water feeder for parakeets. You can put it out. Okay, now formula. You know, what it costs you to buy that, you can get 10, 15 pounds of sugar, and that would last you probably for months. Me, I go through a lot. I have to buy them in 50-pound sacks. But you don't need anything with food coloring. And the big thing is, look how much it costs, and look at the ingredients. I don't want to read it. The only thing you need are the first two. The rest of it is all preservatives, and I don't like the preservatives in my food that I eat, let alone to give it to the hummingbirds. With them using their, so much food to give them nutrition, that's a lot of preservatives for a little bird. So keep that in mind. But if you don't have a choice, you can't make it for some reason, and this is what you want, I'm not going to tell you not to put it out. But I will tell you, we do have to talk about it, because I do know people that are buying different food, and they have told me certain things, and I'm not real happy with it. And we'll talk about that in another video. But again, this is up to you, and if you've had luck with it, that's great. So there are different brands, and this one does have the ingredients there, and again, there's preservative. And all you need is water and sugar. It's the only thing the birds want. White sugar, which is sucrose, because that's the only thing they can really digest correctly for their little bodies. It's a lot of money. A bag of sugar is what? 4-pound bag is under $4. This is attractive. It's green, but once they feed out of it, they would feed out of that. Look at the ant moat. Now it's a little deceiving. I'm going to show you something. $7.88. It's a different color, will blend into your garden. The hummingbirds will probably find it due to the yellow dot in the flower. And it is pretty. But I'm going to tell you something about the ant moat. It's not as deep as you think. There's another one. So they've got two styles and one's a little bigger. See that? I thought at first it's a giant ant moat, but it's not. If you look, I want you to see there's a hole where the hanger goes in. So it's only going to go up about an inch. So it will dry out. I mean, it's a decent ant moat, but you can't go to the top, which I thought, because of the hole. See the hole there? It will leak right out. You'll have water everywhere. So it's got to go below that. That's what the reservoir is for. It's for ants, to keep ants out. But it is an attractive feeder, see? So remember, you fill it to the top, it'll just run all over, and it might get into your feeder as well. You don't want that. And then this one's cute, $11.88. It's glass. It's simple. But again, see the top is glass? On the very top there, if you drop it or knock it when that hook is in there, you won't be able to hang it up. You'd have to sit it on a rail because that little piece on the top could snap off. But I will say it's an attractive feeder. Oh, good. So we've gotten through all the hummingbird feeders before Gary got here. Oh, he's here. See? We did it. I was so excited. I almost missed it. I got to see the garden and that. And then I got to look a little bit here at the bird feeders because you know how I feed all those wild birds. I made a 2-hour video that is way too long for anybody to watch with all the 50 plus species of birds, and I will redo it. I'll try to shorten it down one day and go over each and all the birds. Look at this. They improved it. Remember I made a video on their last one and I said, oh, come on, there's no tray. Well, they put a tray on and now they're charging you $9 and change, $10, but they still have the other one. So I'll tag it if I can find it because it's $6 and you put your own frisbee underneath and you've got a bigger tray than that. And then you've got all the bird seed here, all the different feeders, all the different wild bird mix. We still get ours from feed stores. It's, to me, much fresher and it's for your pet birds. So the quality of the seed is really good. I'm not saying the quality is not good here, but we buy in 50-pound sacks because we have hundreds and thousands of birds that come and visit our garden constantly and all day. All right, so we've looked through all the bird feeder. You know, that's nice. Hold on. So $9.88 and it's metal. I'm gonna take a look at this. I like that. You know, that thing would last forever. If it rusts out, you paint it. See the holes on the bottom? That's so if it gets wet from the rain, the water will drip down. Very good. And the seed will be wet. You could wash it later, but they will still be able to eat it. That's really nice. I may end up getting one of those, though I do make all my own bird feeders really right now. Or I redesign them, but that is really nice. That's a great bird feeder. Any bird can really get in there to feed. Really cool. Look at the houses, all the different ones. All the different styles. We don't get the ones that you fill and they're weighted so they come out from the bottom because the birds knock it all over. Wow, this has got mealworms in it, 2 pounds. It's a lot of money. Gary used to raise mealworms years ago. All right, so Gary's looking at seeds. He's got a few things he said he wants to get. I think it's carrots and something else. And this is $3, so it's a different seed company. Back to the roots. I don't think I've seen this seed company before. USA, that's what it says, organic. Not that it really matters, but the seeds are organic. Okay, so let's kind of take a quick peek here because I know he's in a hurry to go home. He's working in his garden, he's working in the garage, he's got a lot of stuff he's got to do. They've got purple basil, they've got green basil. I'm not buying this yet because I got to check my seeds. I think I have a lot of seeds still that will still grow. So that's what I have to look into. And the flowers they've got here. You know, I'm thinking about the other ones. Now they got the different peas, different squash, pumpkins, vegetables here. Peppers. Okay. But I like to do a mental note. Like I put this in my head like a computer so I can remember what I've seen. And if there's something I want, I will run back and get it. And if they don't have it, they don't have it. can always go to eBay and buy some too. I do that with seeds too. Good prices. You know, I'm going to get this. I like the color. Is it going to look like this? I don't know, but I do so well with marigolds. And you want to shake the seeds and make sure that the package didn't get damp, you know, or wet, and you can hear the seeds. And a lot of times, if they're stuck together, they won't grow if the humidity got too high. So kind of shake them, make sure the seeds are loose, and if they're loose and free-flowing, then that's probably a good package. I'm going to check a couple of them. But I think for me, that's the only ones I'm going to get right now. That one doesn't shake that much. Let's try a different one. See, you can hear the difference when you shake them. And then you know that it's been dry. If it got damp, then they won't move. A lot of times the seeds are, you know, they'll get caked up in there and then they won't grow. So you want to make sure they're kind of nice. So check them over. And that's what it says on the back. Sell by 12/26. All right, so it is new. It's packed for this year. Though I've grown seeds that have been really, really old. It will depend on the seeds and it will depend on the plants. Shake, shake, shake. Okay, that's what I'm doing. And I think I've got what I want. Now for dinner. I don't think we're having steak. I don't remember the last time we had steak. Look at this. Let's have a barbecue. It's only going to cost, holy mackerel, am I seeing that right? $73 for 3 beautiful steaks. Wow. Well, we're having chicken pot pie tonight. That's what I'm making. That, I don't know, is outrageous to me. But that's my personal thing. All right, well, Gary wants to get home. I promised him I wouldn't keep him too long in Walmart. I hope you enjoyed this. Next time I'll go without him. With that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Wait for me. I'm coming. Here I come.